What is going on, Cultivate family? I hope you're all having a good week so far, wherever it is that you're listening to this. I am bringing this to you on a Friday, which ties perfectly in with this episode because I always try and get my episode out for Friday, but life gets in the way. It doesn't always work out. Aubrey just did a massive huff from her dog bed when I said that, so clearly she's slightly sassy about it. But the reason that that's relevant is because today we're talking about those thoughts that we have when we can't nail down our consistency, when we think, I just need to be a bit more disciplined next week. I just need to have a bit more willpower next week. Or perhaps I just need to be a little bit more motivated and then I'll be able to make it work. And when that is the state of our mental chatter, basically telling ourselves off, giving ourselves a hard time, maybe like really mentally beating ourselves up and shaming ourselves for not being disciplined enough or motivated enough, it's actually not the thing that we need to hear. And some coaches may even say that, some trainers may even say that. But again, that's not going to send us down a path to sustainable consistency with our movement and with our training at all. So what if I told you that you absolutely don't need to be more disciplined and you don't need more willpower, and it's not that you don't want it enough? You might just need a few new mates. And by mates, I obviously just mean a few tools to refresh your mindset when it comes to approaching exercise, training, or moving your body. So today we're going to talk about the 4 things that your fitness journey absolutely needs that are completely unrelated to discipline, willpower, or motivation that will help you create a consistent, sustainable gym habit. One that you can uphold for absolutely years and never have to feel like you have to start it again every Monday. And this isn't me saying that movement or exercise or sports don't require a level of discipline and willpower, but most people I work with that struggle with their consistency, they do have desire and drive and passion to want to be able to train consistently or show up at the gym a couple of times a week to move their body and feel good or for long-term health reasons. And I think a lot of the time, very shitty coaches will say, you just don't want it enough, which is just unhelpful and lazy coaching. And we're often not getting to the root of the problem, which is the fact that we have lived in a world that often has treated exercise, especially PE in school or phys ed for my Americans, as like a punishment, or they've maybe shamed you for being bad at something. Or you may have had a coach or been to a gym or a class where it's really hammered into you that you need to be this like hard ass that is super disciplined, super fired up, and has this really aggressive approach to exercise, and people that don't have that can't be successful. Which is absolute bullshit, by the way. So before I go on a rant about toxic gym culture and exercise culture, I just want to reiterate that if you've had these feelings, these things have been said to you, that you're not disciplined or motivated, or you don't have enough willpower, or maybe you tell that to yourself every weekend when things haven't got to plan with your training or nutrition, I don't want you to think it's your fault that that is your current mindset. It's not your fault that this is the way we've been conditioned to approach and think about exercise. However, it is our responsibility to create that change for ourselves, to make our own approach to movement more sustainable, more compassionate, and be able to do it forever. It's not our fault that this is how we've been taught to think, but it is our responsibility to create a better workout culture for ourselves and for our community. So the 4 things I'm going to talk about today, until I had included any of these things in my own fitness journey, I felt like I was just constantly doing everything wrong when really I wasn't. I was just not approaching things in the right frame of mind to set me up for any sort of sustainable training. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is self-compassion. We need to constantly be reminding ourselves that building a new habit takes time, especially a habit with movement, something that might take up an hour of our day a few times a week. And at the start of our journeys and during our fitness journey, we need to remind ourselves that sometimes habits will fall off every so often. Sometimes we might slip up or have a setback, and that's okay. reminding yourself that what you're doing isn't always linear and isn't always easy is part of a self-compassionate approach to movement. And when you're starting, the most important thing to think about is that we aren't going to go from 0 to 100 overnight. We're not going to go from a person that hasn't moved our body sustainably and consistently to a person that is smashing out a shit ton of workouts, recovering really well, and able to do that every week without missing a session. For most of us, movement is not our job. We are not competing at an elite level in competitive sport, so we don't have to approach our training like that. If you want to, that's cool. But for most of us that have a social life, have work, have friends, family, partners, dogs, cats, maybe. For most of us, we don't want to have that approach. We just want to move and feel good, enjoy ourselves, and know that we're doing everything we can to look after our long-term health. So if along the way we do miss a workout or experience a setback or get injured or become unwell, getting mad at ourselves and giving ourselves a hard time for not being disciplined enough or not having enough willpower is just going to make us feel a bit shit. Telling ourselves that because we missed a session we weren't disciplined enough is not the one. It's just going to make you feel bad about yourself, and you're far less likely to get out of bed the next morning and show up for your next session. If you give yourself some compassion as a human being that may miss workouts sometimes, because we all do it, your brain is going to have a much better time. If you miss a session and you beat yourself up for it and that chatter is super negative and super shaming, are you going to want to go back? Probably not. If your mental chatter is, oh, well, I missed that session, but that doesn't mean the whole week is a write-off. That doesn't mean I failed in my journey. I'm just going to crack on with my next session or reschedule the current one. Your brain is going to have a much better time if you do that. Self-compassion means we are way more likely to get back on the horse after having a shit day, having a setback, missing a session, because we're not beating ourselves up all the time for not being perfect. A good way to often think about this is if you had a friend that came into work in the morning and said, I slept through my alarm, I didn't have any petrol in the car, or I missed my train, and I couldn't get to the gym this morning, and I've got such a big workload that I can't go for the rest of the day, and I'm really angry at myself for it. Are you going to turn around and tell them that they're not disciplined enough, they don't want it enough, they've not got enough willpower? You're not. You're going to say, don't worry about it. Just reschedule the session. Like, it's all good. Life gets in the way. And if that's what you'd say to your mate, that's what you've got to also say to yourself. Easier said than done, but we've got to practice it and challenge ourselves on it. So the next mindset state that is crucial for all of us to adopt when it comes to consistent, sustainable training is flexibility. Because inevitably, there's going to be times when we have to work late, or there might be times when we have spontaneous social plans. And as a result of either a logistical factor out of your control or wanting to make a different choice, we're going to skip a workout. It might be that you're just not feeling it because you're tired. It might be that you're feeling unwell and you want to prioritize rest, and that is okay. One of the prompts that really, really stuck with me is that we have 7 days in a week to move our bodies. And that means if you're trying to hit anywhere between 2 to 4 sessions, you can have up to 5 days of flexibility to reschedule sessions. Life is always going to get in the way. Plans are always going to change or pop out of nowhere. And there's never ever a perfect time or a perfect week to start training or stop and restart training. Being able to have a more flexible approach to this is the key to being able to do it long term. And a lot of the time, I might have conversations with people thinking about signing up that are like, I'll do it in a few months because I'm changing jobs and things will be better then. But the thing is, 3 months from now, there's going to be a whole different set of things that you might need to be flexible about. So taking action when you're ready to and not telling yourself you need to wait. If you include flexibility in that, it becomes way more possible. Now, with a flexible approach to working out, if you are trying to hit 2 to 3 sessions a week, what probably most of the people that I train do, scheduling your workouts as blocks in your calendar, in your phone, or on your computer can be really, really handy here. And then because it's in a digital calendar, If you need to reschedule a session, you just drag the block around your calendar, and it is so easy for you to then visualize gaps in your schedule, as well as being very intentional about the time that you work out. But then if you need to change it, it's very easy to do. So if you normally work out every week on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday, but then on Wednesday evening, you decide you want to go for a date night or you want to go to a gig, or you just have a really long day and the last thing you want to do is go to the gym, peak time, move that block of training to Thursday. There's still multiple other days in the week where you're going to be able to get 2 sessions in. And even if you don't get 2 in, even getting 1 in is fine. And the thing that goes hand in hand with flexibility that I absolutely love when it comes to coaching my people in Fuzz Culture Club is ranges. We love a flexible range. So when you first start training, aiming for a range of 2 to 3 sessions or 2 to 4 sessions is far better than trying to force yourself to do 6 or 5 and then thinking you failed when you missed the first one on a Monday. If you go into every week saying, I'm going to be really disciplined this week and I'm going to train Monday to Friday and rest at the weekend, you then get into work on Monday and everything is an absolute shit show. You've got a million emails, your boss is being a dickhead, and you get to 5:30 and you're not anywhere near done and you just need to go home. You've told yourself you're going to do 5 workouts Monday to Friday. That's really rigid. There's no flexibility there. Whereas if you said you're going to aim for 3 to 5 workouts, you can be compassionate and then you can think to yourself, cool, I'll just shift this workout to the latter end of the week. That is giving yourself self-compassion and flexibility. Okay, so 2 more factors that are a bit more logistical than a mindset tool. We want our training and our movement to be fun. Moving our bodies is great for health. It's great for getting better at sport or training for a comp. But it is absolutely allowed to be fun and enjoyable and not taken super seriously. If you don't like the type of training that you're doing, it's okay to switch things up or explore new forms of movement that you actually like. Training doesn't need to be boring and it doesn't need to be a punishment. You don't have to hate it. And this is very much why we take a hybrid approach to training, mostly in Fuzz Culture Club. We do a lot of strength training, but we also mix in more functional conditioning and cardio work. And a lot of my people might only train twice a week, but then the rest of the week, they'll do other forms of movement outside of that, like hikes or walks or classes or swimming. Some of them might do sports like roller derby or like football or cricket or climbing, and then we'll tailor their training to support that. So I have a couple of roller derby people in the team at the moment, and we work a lot on speed and capacity and explosive power and leg strength, and that fuels their roller derby and they absolutely love it. They can see the progression in the gym workouts that then allows them to go and be an absolute weapon. I was about to say on the roller derby floor, but that definitely isn't the right thing. But you get my drift here. And if there's something you really enjoy doing something that sets you up to supplement that in the gym can be a really nice way to keep things enjoyable. The other thing is there is so many different types of training. And when it comes to strength, you've got bodybuilding style, powerlifting, CrossFit, resistance training. It's really important you find something that you enjoy. And for some people, that doesn't always happen in the gym, and that's okay. But what I do see a lot of people doing is starting a sport or a class or a form of movement that they love, and then wanting to hit the gym a couple of times to support that as well as knowing the benefits that they get from lifting weights and working on their cardio engine is going to have on their long-term health, as well as the thing that they love doing. Fun workouts are so important. And the thought of me coaching anyone that really didn't like their workouts makes me very sad. We should all be able to enjoy it. And my final point today, the final logistical piece of the puzzle that you need for consistent, sustainable training, a support system. People that are your flavor, people that have got your back, people that aren't big downers and mood hoovers and kind of resent you for moving your body because they haven't, and then they project that onto you and they're kind of like, oh, you work out so much, you're obsessed. Like, That isn't a good vibe, and that's not going to make you feel good. You want a support system to be made out of people you can talk to free from judgment and people that support your goals 100%. And I don't know if any of you can relate, but I've had friends and I've had partners, not anymore, but that have been really unsupportive of me going to the gym a few times a week when they saw me really enjoying it. And that made me feel shit about myself. When I first started getting really into the gym, I was probably only going 2 or 3 times a week, but I loved it. And people were going, "Oh, you're getting really obsessed with that." And I mean, I guess, yeah, because I loved it. In the same sense that when I was 11 years old and I got a guitar, that was all I wanted to do because I loved it. And I think because some people feel like with moving your body and with training, when you're really into fitness, if they're not, they kind of project the fact that they're not onto you, and maybe they feel like that's something they should be doing, but for some reason they aren't. I don't know the answer to that. But it's just so important to have people around you, like friends, partners, your fitness community, that are really supportive and that understand why you like this and won't deter you from doing it. And that's what Fuzz Culture Club is. It's a group of people that are all going to have your back and are all going to support you. So when someone's in the gym on an evening and they're like, posting our group chat, "Is it okay for me to leave? I don't feel good." Immediately, everyone in the group chat is like, "Yeah, if you're not feeling it, that's cool. Try the 10-minute rule. If it doesn't work out, go home here another day." If someone is really struggling with burnout and they post in the group saying, "I am struggling this week. I don't know how I'm fitting the gym in," the approach they're going to be met with is support and self-compassion and other people saying, "I feel like that too." That is so important. And often people don't feel like they have much support on their fitness journey or their nutrition journey back home. So making sure they have a community and an online space for that, for a lot of people in Fuzz Culture Club, that is so important. And for me, when I started my fitness journey and I wasn't supported, talking to people online about it helped me massively. I wish I had had this 8 years ago, but that's why I do it now. So there you have it. 4 things that might be lacking from your training that are completely unrelated to you having more discipline, having more willpower, wanting it bad enough, or needing to be more motivated. And including these 4 factors, self-compassion, flexibility, fun workouts, and a support system within your training, and adopting those mindsets towards your training is going to greatly improve your relationship with exercise and with yourself. And the same can be applied to nutrition here as well, for sure. So if you are beating yourself up for missing sessions, your mental chatter is quite negative, you might often shame yourself, or if you're getting told that you need to want it more or just be more disciplined, that is not the case and it is not your fault. You might just need some new mates and some new tools and a new support system. So I hope you all have an amazing weekend. And if this has resonated with you and if you feel you are lacking in some of the areas that I've talked about today, you are literally the type of person that I would love to help, and you would probably be a great fit and fit in really well with my lot in Fuzz Culture Club. So as always, fill in the form in the show notes if you think you might want to chat about coaching, but you're not sure if it's the right fit. We'll have a little bit of a chat either via email or we can have a call. I never make people go on calls if they don't want to. And I'll let you know if I can help you. And I'll let you know if the environment that I have in Fuzz Culture Club is one that you would thrive in, because I absolutely would never bring anyone into this that wouldn't be a good fit with the rest of the community and that I didn't think I could help. So, I'm off to do my training for today. I have had shit sleep and my recovery hasn't been great. So I will be taking a very flexible and self-compassionate approach to my training session today. I won't be firing from all cylinders. I'm going to show up. I'm going to start my workout. I'm not going to have a lot of heavy weight on the bar today. I'm just going to get my body moving, see how I feel. If I want to do more, I will. But if not, I'm not going to force myself, and I'm not going to beat myself up for not being disciplined enough to smash out a full session today. Have a lovely weekend. Speak to you all soon. Take it easy, Cultivate family. That is me out.